this because I was sort of in transition. But we did this workshop 3 years in a row with Paradigm here. And every year it gets a little different, a little more, and I do more data, more science stuff, and of course we grow even more peppers. So we're gonna get the talk started here today. So today, so I do have a PhD. You don't have to call me doctor, but I'm Dr. Dave in the pepper world. But I also now am a full professor at the University of Minnesota. Okay, I see you wearing the Viking shirt out there. Since moving to Minnesota, I know that the only people that have those, they give them away for free actually in Minnesota. So yes, my Packer roots run very deep. But I do cheer for the Wild, and we are not going to talk about what happened in the playoffs. Okay. Anyhow. So yeah, so in my life I wanted to study chili peppers as one of the things, and the University of Minnesota said, hey, we're going to hire you as a professor, we're going to give you $500,000. It's true. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing, okay? So in front of you today there's a picture, okay? That's before I went to Minnesota. That was 111 different types of chili peppers, okay? And in fact, every single pepper in that picture was blended up and put into a hot sauce that I made, and we have samples back there for you. So prior workshops when I lived in town and I loved to cook, I actually served you guys breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we charge you $20 to come to the workshop a little bit. But today it's a little bit toned down. But we do have some samples back there for you, and we're going to get you guys going, okay? Okay, so some scientists work in their basements, some in their garages. But before I went to Minnesota, I grew peppers on my driveway. My wife said, you can have half the driveway. Okay? As long as I can still pull my car and you can grow as many plants as you want on that half the driveway. So I had about 350 pepper plants. I was up to growing 130 types. I was on the job market, so you can tell the hair is very short. Now my hair is growing long again. I like hair. Anyhow, so I got into peppers. I always loved gardening. I loved spicy food since I was about your age, your son. How old are you? 8. Okay, even younger. Age 3, I was eating the hottest spicy food. Do you like spicy food? That's okay, you got time in life. But I was the kid that would always try the hottest salsa. Nobody else in the family would, but I would. I always loved spice, and I started to do community gardens. Okay? And I said, well, I'm going to grow some chili peppers. So I'm going to grow types that I've heard of before. So I grew a habanero. I grew like a red Thai pepper. I got about 4 peppers off of each plant. You know, I said, well, maybe peppers don't grow well in the Midwest. Well, we're going to show you today that's not true at all. But the following year, I had a coworker who said, why don't we pitch in together and order seeds from the Chili Pepper Institute at New Mexico State University? So we did. Again, I chose ones I'd heard of, so I was like, Tabasco. Oh, I've heard of that. I got to grow Tabasco. But she chose a bunch of types I'd never heard of before in my life. And that's what opened my eyes up to peppers. I grew 15 varieties, and I was like, why can't I get some of these at the grocery store every single day? So then the next year, I grew over 30 types, and then I was up to 73 types, and then 111, and then I went up to about 135. And I'm not even going to tell you until later in the talk how many types we grew last year. Because now I have $500,000 and 10 people working. Okay, so before I went to Minnesota, these were the 135 types. You guys probably, these were the plant types that I'd sell to you a little bit. I know you can't read the names on there. But we see a lot of different shapes, a lot of sizes. Right up here, we're seeing some of the 5 hottest types in the world. Here's another 30 varieties. We're getting different shapes, sizes. We've got all kinds. Like some look like little UFOs. Got some over here that look like spaceships. Got really, really long ones, tiny ones, really big ones, all this kind of stuff. And that's why I'm fascinated with peppers, because there's so much diversity you can actually grow. A couple more types, okay? So we got different colors in here, okay? Different types of peppers. We got purple ones. This is one from Malaysia. It tastes like pineapples. This is your Peter pepper. Anybody grown that one? If you get a pepper that looks true to form, it actually looks like the male reproductive organ. Okay? But they don't all turn out that way. But a funny story, I gave some of those plants to my boss. Didn't tell her which pepper I gave her. And she figured it out. Okay, so in 2014, I crossed the border. I officially moved to the land of duck, duck, gray duck. Does anybody understand that joke? Okay, So you there, sir, you look like a very smart guy. What are you in? 8th grade? 2nd grade. Okay, that's all right. So when you play a game, you're all in a circle. You go duck, duck, goose. Yes, goose. How many people grew up playing duck, duck, goose? Okay, well in Minnesota, it turns out they don't have a thing for geese, and they play duck, duck, gray duck. I mean, what's so bad about being a gray duck? I mean, geese are mean, you know, like they hiss at you, they come and bite you, right? You're laughing, you're like, yeah, I've been attacked by a goose. What's so bad about being a gray duck? I don't get it. But anyhow, they're the only state in the nation that plays duck, duck, gray duck. Okay, so that's why I say I moved to the land of the duck, duck, gray duck. Anyhow, so I'm officially now a professor in the Department of Food Science and Nutrition at the University of Minnesota. I'm still a Badger fan, but I also cheer for the Gophers, okay? Honestly, there's not much complication other than hockey in terms of who's going to win the game. Okay? Basketball, they didn't even make the NIT. Anyhow, so they hired me initially to study bad bacteria. Okay, so yes, I am one of the world's experts on bad E. coli, bad salmonella, listeria, all these kinds of stuff. But you know what? You can't eat those bugs. I mean, sure, I'm fascinated by it, but you know what I really love to study? Is chili peppers. So you might ask, why did I go there? Why didn't I become a professor here? Well, I interviewed with the Department of Food Science, the people who make the ice cream, right? Babcock, you've had that? And during that interview, I'm not going to mention names, but one of the professors said, why do you want to study chili peppers? And he actually said, we don't want you to study chili peppers. So, it wasn't like they made me a job offer, they chose the other guy. They made my life decisions easier. But they clearly were not into what I wanted to do with chili peppers. Okay? Minnesota, on the other hand, I interviewed with them, and they got super excited. They said, nobody's doing chili peppers. There's a lot of research that's never been done. And I said, yeah, me too. I want to take this job. I'm going to come here. And so now we're making Minnesota the mecca of chili peppers. So next time you have Babcock ice cream, you're never going to see a chili pepper ice cream. Sorry. You will see that coming from my dairy plant. But again, they made that decision, not me. Okay. All right, anyhow, let's get this show going. It's going to be fun. Okay, so a little bit of a talk outline. So I know some of you guys have been to this talk before. Some of it's similar and some of it's new. Every year I add some new stuff to it. Okay? We're going to talk a little bit about the origin and spread of chili peppers. We'll talk about the different species of chili peppers. Some of the analysis that we've been doing on the nutrient content. Hot peppers and hotness. Okay? How many people like eating super hot stuff? Raise your hands. Okay. Well, you're going to get to do that today. In fact, everybody who wants, we're going to do a blind tasting, and you'll get to test the 12 hottest types that I grew in the Midwest. Okay, we've got 3 gallons of milk ready. We're going to do this today. I'll talk a little bit about the antimicrobial properties. Okay, so I'm a microbiologist. So that was the way I kind of put my foot in the door to get into chili peppers. I was like, well, there's a lot of stuff we can do with chili peppers to make food safer, organic. Of course, we'll also talk to you a little bit about growing peppers. Okay, so I did them in containers on my driveway. Last year, I had over a ½ acre land. I did it in the soil, and that was a whole learning experience for me versus containers. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, so anybody out there, and if you know the answer already, don't chime it out. But where did chili peppers come from? So you guys know that all of our continents. How many continents are there? Do you know? 7. 7 different continents. They were all connected together at one point. Okay? Like you could see, Africa fits in right over here, and they were all one large landmass. Okay? So chili peppers were around back then. So did chili peppers sort of just spread at that point in time all over the earth? Or did they come from one place and then they were spread all over the earth? Anybody have any ideas? Yeah. One place. Yeah, that's right. Do you know where? Okay. Can you like guess which continent you think they come from? China. No, not China. Do you think they come from Antarctica? Anybody else out there have any ideas? Where did chili peppers come from?
Chile.
Chile. You'd think so. They named their country after it, right? That's not right. India. Good guess. Nope. Africa. Nope. Spain. Nope. Yes. What's that? Caribbean, we're getting warmer. Mexico, you're getting closer, what'd you say? Ecuador, we're getting very close. So we've narrowed it down to the continent, South America. Anybody know what country they all came from?
Brazil.
Brazil, nope. Bolivia. Right answer, sir. So all peppers actually originated in Bolivia. This is a little map of the country. This black area right here is called the nuclear zone. How do we know that all chili peppers came from there? That's the only place you can go in the wild and find almost all species still growing today. There's a little bit of argument, but there's possibly 33 different species actually of chili peppers. Okay? We primarily have about 5 species that we're selling you today. Okay? I did explore, I ordered seeds of all these crazy species, all this stuff. The thing is, a lot of them don't produce fruit until their second year. It's a little challenging in Midwest conditions, unless you have a full year greenhouse. A lot of them are super small. I ordered seeds of one variety, and they just sent the entire dried pepper, and it was the size of a pinhead. Okay. So yes, Central Bolivia. So how did they then get from Central Bolivia to every single country in the world? Do you know? You can call me Dr. Pepper, sure, son. So anybody know, how did they spread? Birds. That's exactly right. So birds. So why do birds like peppers? Anybody know? Got nutrients. Do they like spicy food? They don't have receptors. That's the correct answer. So birds are not mammals, right? We're mammals. Okay. All mammals have the receptors to perceive capsaicin as hot. Birds do not. So to a bird, it just looks like another berry. In fact, they can eat them all they want. They're going to be the champion chili pepper eaters in the world. So birds started to eat those peppers. A lot of times they eat them whole. They then flew some distance and then they pooped. Dropped some natural fertilizer with the seeds, and that's how chili peppers spread. We also had natives, so there were obviously people living in South America, right? They also found chilies to be very fun thing, nutritious. They added them into their diet. We've been cultivating chili peppers for about 7,000 or 8,000 years. But birds, and so with that in mind, we're going to play a music song. We have a little bit of music today in the show as well. So I don't know if you guys know or not, but I'm actually a world-renowned children's musician.